Okay, next up, we have our last company for today, which is the recently listed Chariot Corporation, ASX code CC9, and they've got a market cap of around 31 million. Chariot Corporation is a mineral exploration company focused on discovering and developing high-grade and near-surface lithium opportunities in the United States of America. Presenting for the company today is their CEO, Shanthar Pathmanathan. Shanthar, welcome to Hidden Gems webinar series. Take it away.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Thank you all for listening in. So on behalf of Chariot, pleasure to be here. We are the ASX's newest listed lithium company. We're focused on the lithium opportunity in the United States quite heavily. We are the largest landholder for lithium exploration in the United States of America today. We straddle Wyoming for hard rock lithium, Nevada and Oregon for claystone hosted lithium. The company has 12 assets. That being said, our focus is very much on the Black Mountain Lithium Project in Wyoming. Black Mountain, I view as an iconic hard rock lithium project sitting in the middle of the United States. It is essentially a mountain with crystals of spodumene sticking out of the top of it, fairly large in area. It's got about a 2-kilometer strike. There's some 40-odd pegmatite dikes where we can see them outcropping at surface. We've done 2 rounds of rock chip sampling, so that has occurred over the last year and a half or so. It took us about a year to get hold of this property. We had to do deals with 2 separate vendors and stake our own ground as well. So 2 separate vendor parties, and we secured it through a pretty competitive bid process with respect to one of those vendors. The cost of the property to us can be found in our presentation. In all, it's going to cost us roughly $8 million USD plus $2 million to buy back the 2% royalty in favor of one of the vendors. So an iconic property. We've done some rock chip sampling. The best rock chip result. So this is rock chipping an in situ outcrop at surface, taking a chip out of that, and we got a best result of 6.68% lithium oxide, very low in iron as well, and appears to be pretty coarse-grained spodumene at surface. So that property will be almost our entire focus for the next 6 months or so. And shorter term, the company will definitely be focused on hard rock lithium generally. So we have a rig at site that was announced about a week ago, and more to come on that shortly. So in Wyoming, as I said, is our location for hard rock lithium mineral exploration. We have covered essentially all of the strategic pegmatites in Wyoming. So we've covered something like 700 pegmatites, which are outcropping at surface through 7 project areas. Black Mountain is one of those projects. We have 6 other hard rock lithium projects in Wyoming. So essentially control the state of Wyoming from a hard rock lithium exploration perspective. We see Wyoming as potentially becoming the equivalent of Gulf of Mexico in oil, but in lithium in the future. So we see Wyoming as becoming a future lithium producing hub in the United States of America. Wyoming is notably underpopulated. It has geology that is very similar to what is found in Western Australia, and more importantly, what straddles across the border into South Dakota, where there's also some other hard rock lithium activity involving another ASX company. The other jurisdiction is Nevada and Oregon, which we see as being right for claystone hosted lithium mineralization. The geology there lends itself to claystone hosted lithium mineralization. We have got 2 focus areas there. One is in the McDermott caldera, which is the largest and highest grade claystone hosted lithium play on the planet. It has Lithium Americas, which is a New York Stock Exchange listed company developing the Thacker Pass project with the largest land holding inside the McDermott caldera, and Jindalee Resources, which is an ASX listed company. We have the second largest land position inside the McDermott caldera. The McDermott caldera is notably the top of an extinct volcano, the top of a mountainous volcano essentially, that has basically collapsed into itself creating a massive crater-like structure that is about 50 kilometers north-south, one of the largest calderas on the planet. It hosts two 20 million ton lithium carbonate equivalent resources, Thacker Pass and Jindalee. We've got the second largest land position. Once upon a time, it would have been a paleo lake following the eruption of that volcano. That lake, which would have been by default a lithium brine system, has dried up. The lithium minerals have then been enriched in the lake bed and lithified to clay over about 12 million years or so. A highly interesting play, the McDermott Caldera, and we've got the second largest land position there. The other focus area in Nevada is in and around Tonopah, where we have acquired a number of land packages. We subsequently have divested these to 3 other public companies. So Pan American Energy Corporation, Power Lithium Corporation, and Red Mountain, an ASX listed company. Under all of these deals, we received considerable amount of shares and cash in those companies, and then there are further payments due under each of the deals. The schedule of those payments can be found in our company presentation. Those deals also have quite interesting royalty and milestone payments available to us in the future. So the total proceeds to be realized from those deals is about $16 million for a net investment of about 1.5 million. So we've made about 10x plus on those investments, and we'll continue to benefit from them through our equity positions in those companies and the future payments. So the company has been put together, if we can move to the next slide. So the company has been put together by a stellar team of individuals. So let me start with the board. So on the board, we've got Mr. Murray Bleach, previously CEO of Macquarie in North America, tremendous infrastructure and financial services experience, especially from a large cap perspective. Murray is our chairman. Mr. Frederick Forney, a licensed lawyer in New York, previously a colleague of mine at Macquarie in New York. Fred is an executive director with the company and provides excellent counsel to the company. I worked with both of these gentlemen was hugely impressed by them during my time at Macquarie in New York, and enlisted their help to set up this company and to join the board. So then we have Mr. Neil Stewart. So Neil is a lithium industry icon in my mind. Neil founded Orocobre. He was founding chairman of Orocobre, which is now Aldchem through a merger with Galaxy. It's one of the largest lithium producers in the world. Neil is on our board of directors. Neil is a geologist as well. Many years ago, Neil introduced me to a man called Dr. Edward Max Baker. Max is essentially our lead geologist in the US. He's an Australian geologist who's lived in the US and Canada for the last few decades. Max was previously chief geologist at Newcrest and subsequently chief geologist at Mount Isa Mines, which is owned by Glencore now. He has co-founded a company called Integra, which is operating a gold project in Idaho. They have spent some part of $100 million there on that project that's now going from exploration into development. The corollary of that is we benefit from Max's team, relationships with contractors, and experience in that Midwestern part of the US. So Max essentially comes with an established team, I believe one of the best exploration teams in the United States of America. They've recently, as I've said, drilled about 55,000 meters at that other project. They're now operating for us at our Black Mountain hard rock lithium project in Wyoming. The company is poised to deliver results. What you can expect is from late December, early January onwards, assay results from our first drill campaign at Black Mountain to start flowing. That'll flow through February in batches through and ultimately in March. The company will be drilling pretty much through to the end of December at Black Mountain, weather permitting, and then from there on we'll be receiving back assay results and starting to do the data compilation. The data will then inform what we do next in terms of a phase 2 drill campaign at Black Mountain. We will simultaneously be planning first drill campaigns at Copper Mountain, potentially South Pass, where there's been some spodumene documented in historical reports, and at our resurgent claystone hosted lithium property in Nevada as well. So exciting times for Chariot. Plenty of news in terms of exploration. The company is positioned excellently as the largest landholder in the United States of America for lithium exploration. I believe US lithium will be the next great opportunity for investors. It's essentially oil 2.0, oil 200 years ago. That's what the opportunity looks like to us today in the US. The US is about 10 years behind Australia. Western Australia got off to a great start supplying the Chinese market, which is now the leader in electric vehicles. The US is understandably more of a consumer-driven economy. China's more of a policy-driven economy. So the US has more organically developed its EV industry, but we're set to see rampant battery capacity growth. So in-house battery capacity growth in the United States, lithium-ion battery capacity growth in the United States of America. And for that, we believe they'll need their own domestic lithium supply.
Shanthar, many thanks for that. And just on that slide, you clearly it demonstrates that you really build a very strong leadership and exploration team, and you've got to have the right people around you to get you to the promised land. And as I said, there's an impressive array of talent that you have within the company. That's the first thing I would like to say.
I'm pleasantly, surprised that we've had all of these high quality individuals engage, and they're actually somewhat engrossed with the opportunity. Paul, behind the scenes, everyone's very energetic and quite engrossed with what they see. And this, I think, is probably a very exciting venture for them as well.
Yeah, no. So let's talk about the Black Mountain project has received the approvals from the Bureau of Land Management to proceed with the phase 1 of the drilling program. What's the status of the additional approvals?
We can drill. There's no further approvals required for drilling. We're in constant communication with the regulators there, the BLM and other parties. All good in terms of our relationship with the regulators in Wyoming and with the federal regulator as well.
And how do the Black Mountain pegmatites compare to other US-based projects?
There are 3 pegmatite districts in the US that are known and being worked on. So the Carolinas has one, South Dakota, close to Mount Rushmore, and then Wyoming. Wyoming, for me, is the most ripe opportunity for modern exploration. There's been no historical modern exploration, right? So there has been evidence of artisanal mining for tantalum at our Black Mountain property and at Copper Mountain for other pegmatitic minerals, tantalum and other minerals. So Wyoming has very few land use issues. It's a mining-friendly state. It has 600,000 people population roughly, which makes it, by and large, underpopulated, and compares favorably with those other 2 jurisdictions, which I believe are, complicated by land use issues. So Carolinas is in sort of urban areas. The pegmatites are found, and then South Dakota has Mount Rushmore and national parks and whatnot. Wyoming, interestingly, borders South Dakota. South Dakota is on the top corner of Wyoming. So the northeast corner of Wyoming is South Dakota. The same geology runs into Wyoming where we are. And there is a plethora of pegmatites there. So some 700 pegmatites within our properties. And we are continuing to build that land position as well.
And just remind us, what other nearby projects are currently being developed?
Wyoming is a mining-friendly state. It has had historical uranium production, oil and gas production, coal production, being one of the largest coal producers in the US. Currently, Peninsula Energy, an ASX-listed company, is operating in Wyoming for uranium. We are the only listed company to be operating there for hard rock lithium exploration.
And just to finish up, what's the status of the company's other projects at Copper Mountain and the Resurgent project, and what work is being done on these projects? All
of these projects we acquired because they mirrored what, say, Pilbara Minerals would have looked like before it was drilled, right? So large outcropping pegmatites, historical mining for tantalum or other pegmatitic minerals, So which then give the indication for lithium exploration. And indeed, some of these projects have got lithium documented in historical reports as well. So in terms of our other projects, Copper Mountain will be the next to be focused on. And from there, we'll move to potentially South Pass. South Pass does have spodumene documented in historical geological reports. Beyond that, we will be moving to the Resurgent project, where we have collected rock chip samples at significantly higher than ore grades. The results there were resounding. So we've taken 300 samples and received back 17 samples above 1,000 ppm, and the best grade there was 3,865 ppm lithium. Noting that the cutoff grade for claystone hosted lithium is 1,000 ppm lithium.
Shanthar, many thanks for your time today, and you have a great weekend.
You too, Paul. Thank you.